Surat Al-Fajr, meaning the dawn, is the 89th chapter of the Holy Quran. It is a chapter that holds profound significance and offers deep insights into the early days of Islam. It is a Meccan surah, revealed in the early days of Islam, during a time when the message of Islam was just beginning to spread. This period was marked by intense persecution of the Muslims by the Quraysh tribe of Mecca. The early followers of Islam faced numerous challenges and hardships, as they were often ostracized and oppressed by their own community. The surah derives its name from the first verse, which swears by the dawn and its beauty. The imagery of dawn symbolizes new beginnings and the promise of a brighter future. This sets the tone for the surah, which speaks of Allah's power and the cyclical nature of history. It reminds us that just as dawn follows night, so too does ease follow hardship. Surat Al-Fajr serves as a powerful reminder of the rise and fall of civilizations. It urges us to reflect on the transient nature of worldly power and the ultimate supremacy of divine will. It highlights the consequences of arrogance, materialism, and oppression. Those who indulge in such behaviors are warned of the dire consequences that await them. The surah also offers hope and solace to the believers, promising them great rewards in the hereafter. It reassures them that their patience and faith will not go unnoticed. This essay will delve into the reasons behind the revelation of Surat Al-Fajr. We will examine the circumstances that led to its revelation and the lessons it imparts. We will explore its historical context, the stories of prominent figures mentioned, and the key themes and messages it conveys. Through this exploration, we aim to gain a deeper understanding of its timeless wisdom and relevance. The revelation of Surat Al-Fajr coincided with a time of growing opposition towards Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his followers in Mecca. This period was marked by intense social and political turmoil, as the message of Islam began to challenge the established norms and beliefs of the time. The Quraysh tribe, who held significant power and influence, felt threatened by the spread of Islam. They were the custodians of the Kaaba and held considerable economic and social sway in Mecca, making them particularly resistant to any change that could undermine their authority. They intensified their persecution of the Muslims, subjecting them to physical and economic hardships. The early Muslims faced boycotts, social ostracism, and even physical violence, all aimed at forcing them to renounce their faith. Despite the challenging circumstances, the Prophet, peace be upon him, remained steadfast in his mission to spread the message of Islam. His unwavering faith and determination inspired his followers to remain committed to their beliefs, even in the face of severe adversity. Surat Al-Fajr served as a source of comfort and encouragement for the early Muslims. It provided them with spiritual strength and reminded them of the greater purpose behind their struggles. It reminded them of Allah's power and justice, and the eventual triumph of truth over falsehood. The surah emphasized that no matter how powerful the oppressors seemed, divine justice would ultimately prevail. The surah's emphasis on the cyclical nature of history provided hope to the believers. It reassured them that their current suffering was temporary, and that, in the grand scheme of things, justice would be served. It reminded them that just as Allah had destroyed previous arrogant civilizations, He would also hold the Quraysh accountable for their oppression. This message reinforced the idea that no tyrant or oppressor could escape divine retribution, and it strengthened the resolve of the early Muslims to continue their struggle for justice and truth. Surat Al-Fajr mentions the stories of several past nations, including the people of Ad and Thamud, who were destroyed for their arrogance and disbelief. These ancient civilizations serve as a stark reminder of the consequences of turning away from the path of righteousness and the ultimate power of Allah. The surah also alludes to the stories of two prominent figures from early Islamic history, Hamzah ibn Abdul Muttalib, the Prophet's peace be upon him, uncle, and Uthman ibn Affan, one of the first converts to Islam. Their lives and sacrifices are emblematic of the trials faced by the early Muslim community. Hamzah, may Allah be pleased with him, was known for his strength and courage. His valor in battle and unwavering support for the Prophet, peace be upon him, made him a legendary figure in Islamic history. He embraced Islam and became a staunch supporter of the Prophet, peace be upon him. His conversion marked a turning point, providing the nascent Muslim community with a powerful ally. His conversion was a significant blow to the Quraysh, as he was a respected figure among them. The Quraysh, who were staunch opponents of the Prophet, peace be upon him, were deeply troubled by Hamzah's allegiance to Islam. Uthman, may Allah be pleased with him, was known for his piety and generosity. His dedication to Islam was evident in his charitable acts and his commitment to the teachings of the Prophet, peace be upon him. He faced severe persecution from his own clan for converting to Islam. Despite the hardships, Uthman remained steadfast in his faith, demonstrating remarkable resilience and patience. Although the surah does not explicitly mention their names, their stories resonate with the themes of sacrifice, perseverance, and the fleeting nature of worldly power. The trials they endured highlight the transient nature of worldly struggles and the eternal significance of faith and devotion. Hamzah, may Allah be pleased with him, was martyred in the Battle of Uhud, a pivotal moment in Islamic history that underscored the sacrifices made by the early Muslims. Uthman, may Allah be pleased with him, was brutally murdered during his caliphate, a tragic event that marked a period of great turmoil and strife within the Muslim community. Their stories serve as a reminder that worldly life is temporary and true reward lies with Allah. The legacy of Hamzah and Uthman continues to inspire Muslims to this day, reminding them of the importance of faith, sacrifice, and the pursuit of eternal reward in the hereafter. One of the central themes of Surat Al-Fajr is the warning against arrogance and the pursuit of worldly possessions. The surah reminds us that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in piety and good deeds. The stories of previous nations serve as cautionary tales, illustrating the consequences of succumbing to pride and materialism. The people of Ad, for instance, were blessed with great wealth and prosperity. However, they became arrogant and ungrateful, attributing their success to their own efforts rather than to Allah's blessings. As a result, Allah destroyed them with a powerful wind. Similarly, the surah warns against the love of wealth and status, which can lead to corruption and injustice. It reminds us that true happiness and fulfillment come from seeking Allah's pleasure and living a life of righteousness. Section 5. The importance of social justice. Surat Al-Fajr emphasizes the importance of social justice and caring for the less fortunate. It condemns the oppression of the weak and vulnerable, particularly orphans. The surah highlights the consequences of neglecting the rights of orphans, warning that those who do so will face severe punishment from Allah. The surah's emphasis on social justice is a reminder that our actions have consequences, both in this life and the hereafter. It encourages us to be mindful of our responsibilities towards others, especially those who are less fortunate than ourselves. By caring for the needy and upholding justice, we not only fulfill our Islamic duty, but also contribute to building a more equitable and compassionate society. Section 6. Consequences for oppressing orphans. Surat Al-Fajr explicitly condemns the act of oppressing orphans, highlighting the severity of this sin in the eyes of Allah. The surah warns that those who mistreat orphans, whether by depriving them of their inheritance or subjecting them to any form of abuse, will face severe consequences. The surah describes the day of judgment, when people will be held accountable for their deeds. Those who oppressed orphans will be questioned about their actions, and will face the wrath of Allah. This serves as a stark reminder that our treatment of the vulnerable, especially orphans, is a reflection of our faith and character. Section 7. Rewards for the believers. In contrast to the warnings for the wrongdoers, Surat Al-Fajr offers hope and encouragement to the believers. The surah promises them great rewards in the hereafter for their faith, patience, and good deeds. The believers are promised paradise, a place of eternal bliss and happiness. They will be rewarded with gardens beneath which rivers flow, where they will dwell forever. This promise of eternal reward serves as a source of motivation for believers to remain steadfast in their faith and to strive for righteousness. Section 8. Benefits of reading Surat Al-Fajr. Reading and reflecting upon Surat Al-Fajr offers numerous spiritual and moral benefits. It serves as a reminder of Allah's power and majesty, the cyclical nature of history, and the importance of leading a righteous life. Regular recitation of this surah can help purify the heart, instill fear of Allah, and encourage gratitude for His blessings. It can also provide solace and comfort during times of hardship and adversity. By internalizing the messages of Surat Al-Fajr, we can strive to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life, guided by the principles of faith, justice, and compassion. Section 9. Conclusion. Embracing the message. Surat Al-Fajr is a powerful and evocative surah that conveys profound lessons for all of humanity. It reminds us of the importance of humility, gratitude, and social justice. The surah warns against the dangers of arrogance, materialism, and the oppression of the weak. By reflecting upon the messages of Surat Al-Fajr and striving to implement its teachings in our daily lives, we can cultivate a deeper connection with Allah, develop stronger moral character, and contribute to building a more just and compassionate world.